What's up guys, it is I, once again, Yusuf Al-Sanad, and today guys I want to talk about and review John Hillcoat's 2009 adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's The Road. And The Road is a post-apocalyptic drama which is set in the post-apocalypse but never explains how the apocalypse started, and it just presents a world where people try to survive and to look for food and to scavenge for resources they can use and just live out the remaining days of their lives until the world comes to its utter end, and all they have to hope for is to find the good guys. And this story guys is really one of the most emotional, sad, depressing yet very beautiful journeys I've ever really seen portrayed on the big screen. It really is something that really does, remind us of how important our humanity is and why life is essentially precious. And Cormac McCarthy, if you don't know, is one of my favorite authors of all time, probably my favorite. He's made many acclaimed novels, including Blood Meridian, my absolute favorite, No Country for Old Men, and The Road. The Road was directed by John Hillcoat, but it was written by Joe Penhall, and this is a totally different take on the post-apocalyptic genre because, like I mentioned before, it doesn't so much explore the origin of the apocalypse, nor does it try to find meaning behind the apocalypse itself. A lot of post-apocalyptic films do try to find the meaning behind it, and they try to question whether or not this is an act of God, being that God punished man because of their sin and because of how we brought destruction, pain, and misery upon ourselves and those who didn't deserve it. And honestly guys, from my personal perspective, it ain't too far from the truth. No, it's not. We have always caused pain, destruction, and misery to one another, and it's never going to stop. So the rapture is inevitable, and this movie does portray it in a way, because in The Road we see nothing resembling of life anymore. All the plants have died out, the trees have fallen, and the once blue sky has turned grey, and all life has withered away, and there's nothing left in this world but to survive. And John Hillcoat's The Road mainly focuses on the journey of the man and the boy being the son of the man and the man being the father of the boy, and they're on this journey to head south. They are heading south in hopes of finding water, food, and just to survive. It was the last dying wish of the man's wife, who has given up on living and has chosen death over trying to survive with her boy and her man. It's a really heartbreaking tale of how people have lost hope and there's no courage or will to live anymore, because what we become are cannibals. We resort to eating people in order to survive. We take food from others, and far worse, women and children are likely to get killed or raped in this world. And it's really sad guys, but that's the post-apocalyptic time for you. The man tries to teach his little boy how to survive, how to scavenge for food, and always tells him that whenever he's in danger or whenever his life is being threatened, he has to kill himself, because the man carries a pistol around which only has 2 bullets, one for himself and one for the little boy. The last thing he wants to see is his son living in this very horrible, corrupt world where people are killing each other and there's nothing but wasteland and just absence of life, and he does not want that fate for his son. The little boy understandably is scared, and his father knows that. His father tries to find the strength within himself to kill his son if he is to face danger, but he just can't do it, because this little boy isn't just an angel to him, but he is God in his eyes. And the question of whether or not God has forsaken man is a theme that has always played in Cormac McCarthy's stories, especially in Blood Meridian and The Road. And Cormac McCarthy does incorporate a lot of religious themes, ideas, as well as the loss of hope and how people have reached their breaking point and there is no sense of humanity anymore, because everyone in this world are out for themselves. There are very few good people in between, but there are mostly bad ones. The man always tries to tell the boy, his son, that they are the good guys. They are the good guys who carry the fire, and that is a very important principle example, he wants his son to remember that they carry the fire within, the fire that represents hope and life itself. The little boy is the last breathing, living creature that resembles any sort of hope, and he is the last remaining good thing in this world if it was to come to the post-apocalyptic time, because to find anyone who's truly good is really hard, and trust isn't something that comes by so easily, because people are desperate, and with desperation comes very vile, horrible, yet necessary acts which you do to survive, even if it means losing your humanity. But the little boy somehow has maintained his humanity, whereas the man, his father, has lost all his humanity. And I really can't blame him, guys, because he lost his wife who was given up on him and her child, and he's living in a world which is totally different from the one he's lived in, because his son is not so fortunate to live in this world, as this is the only world he's known, whereas the man, he once had a very beautiful life with his wife, and he was living in the prairie with horses and cattle, and all nature was there, and life was so good before it was taken from him. It's a really sad, heartbreaking tale, but one I really found to be a truly magnificent journey, and that's saying a lot, guys, because most of these apocalyptic films tend to be more action oriented, or they try to bombard you with the drama, and it essentially becomes a soap opera. But John Hillcoat's The Road manages to tell a story that does have those aspects to it, with the desperation, the loss of hope, and the despair that man goes through. At the same time, it tries to have some sense of hope that awaits the man and the boy, and whether it's possible or not in this world, all they have to do is keep going and trying to survive, and always carry that fire within. I really love Cormac McCarthy's The Road. I've only read once, like I've seen the movie only once in the theaters, and both times I shed so many tears watching them. It was a really emotional journey, and this time watching it, the second time that is, it was no exception. It really was a truly amazing journey, guys, and learning from the man, just like the little boy learns from the man how to survive and how to always maintain your humanity even when he's lost his. There's an array of supporting cast in the movie that includes Guy Pearce, Robert Duvall, Molly Parker, and so many other great actors like Michael Kenneth Williams. But essentially this story focuses on the man and the boy, who are portrayed by Viggo Mortensen and Kodi Smit-McPhee, who are truly amazing, guys. They really are, especially Viggo Mortensen. He really does make you feel for him, and you can't really blame him for whatever action or decision he makes, because he does it all for the sake of his little boy, the last good thing in this world, and the only reason he still lives, because if he was dead, he's done. There's a part of him that I relate to, a very strong part actually, and it's something that I feel really does make me cling more to his side. It makes you feel like you do want to take those desperate acts to protect those you love and yourself, but at the same time you really can't lose that important part of you, that fire, that humanity, you know. Here's a fun fact for you guys and gals. The Last of Us, which was made by Naughty Dog Studios, which I mentioned before in my review of World War Z, they have actually took a lot of inspirations to make that game, one of them being The Road, and you can really see why, because The Road is a story about the man and the little boy going on a journey to survive, similar to Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us, who have to survive in a world filled with zombies or infected, and how the world is in a post-apocalyptic time. Only that game still had some sort of life left. There's a lot more nature and greenery present in that game, as opposed to The Road, which is completely set in a world where there's nothing but waste and withered trees, plants, and just corpses everywhere. These kind of stories are the ones that really do attract me, guys, because it does portray a very dark, grim, and very horrible world. At the same time, it's a reminder of why you must cherish your life and cherish those you love, and to always be thankful for what you have right now, and to believe in something bigger than yourself. Whether or not you believe in God, it doesn't matter. What does matter is how you use your life right now, and you leave good, lasting memories for the future generation. John Hillcoat's The Road isn't a masterpiece or anything original, but the way the story is told is truly amazing, and I really love the performances, John Hillcoat's direction, the music, which was composed by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. I really love all those aspects of this movie, and this film really does send a positive message amidst all the darkness, all the grim nature of the world, and how there's barely any humanity left. And this is the kind of story that really does attract me. I don't think John Hillcoat's The Road will appeal to many people, except for the groups of people who do like these kind of movies like myself. I do think that if you guys and gals give it a chance, you'll find something meaningful in it, and something you can take home with you, and something you can just, think about long after you're done watching it. In the end, however, it's all up to you, and I do recommend you watch John Hillcoat's The Road. It's a really beautiful movie, and that's my review to John Hillcoat's The Road. Do check it out if you get the chance. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and if you want to see more from me, then please check out my gaming channel where I do Let's Play series, gaming content, all that kind of good stuff. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.